Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Road to Glory. We are live with Tier 1 in Austria for the penultimate round of this season's championship. What a race we're going to have in store for you this evening. I can tell it is pouring down with rain, so this is going to be a brilliant qualifying session. Wonder whether it's going to be like this in the race. Anyone that is racing and listening in, please let me know in the chat. But alongside with me this evening, we have our resident crazy German. We have Chris. Welcome along, Chris.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
How are we doing tonight? You ready for this tonight?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the weather, let's hope that it would be an interesting race.
It's certainly looking to be. It looks like everyone's on the intermediates. It does look very heavy at that rain, actually. Doesn't look a long way off full wets, but I think I think the intermediates are the right choice at the moment. We'll see whether anyone wants to risk it. Whether it's going to dry out as well by the end of the session, that's going to be another matter. We watch quite a lot of people coming out on their outlaps. We got Jovan in the chat right away. Good luck out there, gents. Let it rain again. Yeah, it is pouring down. I hope it's going to be raining when we come to race. I do love the rain. I know you're the same, mate.
Absolutely.
But let's wide on board with the Haas of Chuckle Brothers as he goes across the line. He's going to set his fastest lap up to the turn 3 hairpin. Very difficult to get on the power coming out of that. Even more so in the rain. Jim Bob getting out of his way very nicely. Jim Bob's still the championship leader, but things are very close at the front of the field. I'm going to have to bring up the championship standings because I can't remember who was second, but there was only 2 points in it. So
wasn't it one point? 104 to 103?
I'll look that up very quickly while we watch the Haas for the rest of his lap. I will quickly look that up while I can. But it is very close between the tops at 3. Even 4th is not far away.
Yeah, it's in the 90s too. If I remember right, then he has 92 points or 94. And is still in the champions fight. So
I can't see. I don't think Jason's posted the updated standings. So there we go. We can't check that. But no, nonetheless, right. We have a few lap times rolling in. 1:14.326 from Mark in the racing point. Quite a lot slower than your usual qualifying lap around here. Let's see. Anyone?
That is nearly 11 seconds lower.
Oh, it's a lot slower, isn't it? But let's ride on board with Jim Bob, shall we?
Aki is struggling a little bit.
It certainly is, yeah. We'll ride on board with Jim Bob through the first corner, about 4th gear on the entry, try and get up to 5th on the exit. That's in the dry, of course. Then it's a nice long straight up to your turn 3. Turn 2's not really a turn. Hairpin going uphill off camber, very difficult traction zone. Very easy to spin it. And overshoot your braking marker on the way in even. Coming down, your main straight then for DRS. This will be your biggest overtaking opportunity into the second sector then. Right-hander down the hill. Don't run wide, don't invalidate. It's quite a big curb on the left-hand side, but you can use it. And then we go into the last section where you need a lot of aerodynamic downforce, and Jim Bob's run wide and invalidated. That's a shame.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need a lot of downforce coming through this section. It's one of those odd laps, isn't it? You want low downforce because there's quite a lot of straights, but then your last section you want quite a lot of aero on the car.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But I think you only need it on the rear. So I would go too much aerodynamics on the front. It makes you slow in the rest of the lap.
It certainly does, as we watch Tom Humphreys, aka T to the B to in the AlphaTauri. He is new to this tier. It's his first race with them tonight, but me and you have raced against him quite a bit. He is a very fast driver indeed, so he'll be one to watch out for tonight. Let's see what he can manage as he goes across the line. He does indeed go pole 113.259. Yeah, that's a big margin for DJ Lawson there.
Yeah, and it looks like the track becomes faster, so the rain doesn't get heavier.
Yeah, it is. Does seem to be easing off a little bit, that rain, doesn't it?
A little bit rain is still, but the cars are mix a spray. That means the track can drier and faster. So I think we will see some times in the under 110. I think.
Ooh, as Jim Bob goes fastest, then he matches TT the Beetle 10th faster. Nearly, exactly. That's a good lap from the championship leader, ready to stamp his authority. He had a big lead early doors. He won quite a few races, and then in the last few races, it sort of floundered a little bit. Just picked up points here and there, but he has struggled. I'm sure he's looking to get momentum back in his favour once again.
Yeah, I'm on board with Bumper Car Ben. Yeah. And he starts right now his fastest lap. His flying lap. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, no worries at all. Absolutely. Well, yeah. I will put our camera on board with him. If you want to talk us through a lap, you're give us a little bit more of a technical insight to this lap than I will.
Yeah. For turn 2, there you must go a little bit over the curb. What means that you need not a heavy front suspension, so it must be soft, that you don't lose the grip. In that turn he is now, you need the most way from the tires. That means the ankle must go more in the minus. And in that turn 2, here is mechanical grip the way to go. And for that, there is a car what's staying in the way.
That was not good whatsoever. That was the Alfa Romeo Ryan getting in his way. That was far from ideal. That I'm sure Bumper Car Ben will have a few things to say about that.
I think he was on the way to 1:12.9.
One of those difficult ones, isn't it? This pit entry is so poorly designed. It causes so much problems.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
We watched Mark Hinson, the McLaren, jump up to third place, 1:13.4. That's a nice lap indeed. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. Again, another driver who struggled to pick up strong points recently.
Rawley has, Rawley has invalidated his lap.
He certainly has. Is he going to go for another flying lap?
I think so.
Ryan's just posted in the chat. Sorry to the Red Bull there, was stuck behind somebody else heading into the pits. There was someone in front of him, I did see, but I couldn't tell what was actually going on there.
Yeah, I think he let pass another guy and want to make the turn and don't notice that Ben was flying to him. So it's difficult to say, but I think it was not on purpose. So he doesn't want to block him or something like that. It was a mistake. So
absolutely, there was no malicious intent there. So what Mark Ince there goes for a second flying lap and goes provisional pole currently 1:12.9. First driver into the 1 minute 12s. Track is getting quicker, but he has retired right away coming out of the first corner. Wow. Goes fastest and then bins it.
Oh man.
Can you believe it? As we ride on board with Jason, we really look at Mark Ince in the wall there on the left hand side. I can only presume maybe got onto the curb a little bit, lost the back end perhaps. So I'm sure he's very pleased with that previous lap, but I'm sure he's going to hope that the conditions only get worse now and nobody can improve. But it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, I think the rain will still be there to the end. So
Yeah, it looks a little bit like you said. The actual rain coming down is slightly less than it was right at the start of this session, but it's still coming down fairly well. It's a long way off of dry weather tyres right now.
yeah, in the moment there is no reason to think about dry tires.
Absolutely, as we watch Jason, who hasn't set a lap currently, he's managing to get a lap in this time. What is he going to do? He's going to go pole 112.233.
Nice.
So, very nice lap indeed, and I think confirmation that this track is getting quicker and quicker. In the chat we have Michael. Good luck, fellas. Let's keep it clean. At least I'm not in anyone's way this week. So, you know. I mean, he's honest about his driving skills there, but you're never in anyone's way, Michael. You always give it a good go. And you've also got Alice says, let's watch Dazblade. I believe he's just come out onto his outlap, and we're going to jump on board with him right at the right moment, just for you there, Alice. And let's see what he can manage going across the line onto his fast lap into turn one. He goes using a little bit of the curb on the left-hand side. Takes a bit of curb on the entry and then on the exit. Not using loads. He could use a bit more, but curbs are very slippery in the wet. So you've got to be careful which ones you do use in these conditions. Heavy braking point into the hairpin of the right-hander. Orsat is getting out of the way very nicely indeed on the exit. Feeding the power in nicely for the McLaren driver. Then it's a big wait until heavy stomp on the brakes into the right-hander. Very awkward. Want to get your turning point right, I always find. I always end up turning in at the wrong time through there. And then we'll watch him through the fast left-hander. Fourth gear for him in these conditions. Fifth on the exit. He's gone purple in the middle sector, so it's looking a good lap indeed as these conditions do improve. What can he manage through the last two corners? These are possibly the easiest corners to get a track invalidation or a penalty come the race. But he keeps it within those white lines up to the line. What's he going to manage? Going to be a 113.488. That is good enough for 9th place currently, so I'm sure he's going to go for a second flying lap.
And in that moment you watched Dazblade.
Yep.
I watched Bumper Car. He was still two cars behind him. And in the last turn there was, I think it was Jim Bob, who was staying in his way. But he goes 113.077, so I think for that it's a good time, still on P5.
Not bad indeed. As we watch Chuckle Brothers looking to improve, he's got a bit of traffic on this run indeed. There's an Alfa Romeo ahead of him. I'm not sure who that is. Not Jim Bob, so it would be his teammate Orion, who's not getting it out of the way at all. Chuckle Brothers is 3/10 faster. The Alfa Romeo now gets out of the way. Not sure whether Ryan was on his fast lap as well, possibly, but he's decided to back out of it. Well, let's see what Chuckle Brothers can manage. 3/10 up on his time. He's going to need to improve a little bit more if he wants to snatch pole position away from Jason up to the line. What can he manage? It's a 112.9, only a marginal improvement. He lost quite a bit in that last sector, but an improvement nonetheless. But 3 minutes left on the clock.
That time what he got lost is time in the dirty air. You go wider way, so it don't show that it's slower, but it's still slower. If you must go more meters, so more miles, it costs more time. And with less pressure on the rings, you must go a wider way. So
absolutely, as we watch Jason now go even faster again, 112.0. I think your prediction was right. You said we were going to get into the 111s by the end of this session. We're on the cusp of that with 2.5 minutes to go. Jason is still out there. Can he improve further once again. T2 the B2 is on an outlap. Can he improve? Can he snatch pole position? Markins can't, as he has retired from the session, as we saw earlier. Chuckle Brothers can improve. We're watching Bumper Car Ben long across the line. He does improve, 5/10 improvement, but it's not enough for anything better than third place at this current moment in time. But that's a good lap. I'm sure he'll be very happy with third place. The man on the move at the moment. He has won the last 2 Grand Prix in this tier, so he'll be looking to make it a third on the bounce. Michael Green in the chat, going to call it early. Number 1 Jim Bob, number 2 Mark Ince, and number 3 Aki. That's your podium predictions there for Michael. I mean, what do you reckon, Chris? I mean, you don't know everyone in this tier, but there's a few familiar names, I'm sure. Any to watch out for?
I think T2 the B2 is still on the podium. I think if he is driving like his qualifying, maybe he will win. Bumper Car Ben is a hot candidate for the winning. Yeah, and Jason too, if he's not crashing. So I would look at that 3.
Certainly is. Well, as you can see, the weather has taken a turn for the best, and it is now nearly bone dry.
And looks at track.
But
I don't see water.
There we go. DRS enabled. There's confirmation. It is dry weather time. But
no time to change the tires.
Absolutely not. You're right there.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to finish the lap on inters. That's going to be a very tricky job indeed for the drivers left out there.
Yeah, I don't think that someone can make it. Now it's too slippery in my opinion.
Well, that's the thing. It gets to the point that then all of a sudden the inters are a lot slower.
I was knowing it. Aki is every time good for a good thing.
Certainly
He's
is.
on mediums.
Well, we're watching T2 the B2 riding on board with him through the first sector. He's nearly 2/10 up, but that first sector only really has the one corner through it. So let's see what he can manage through the rest. Michael in the chat, Jason will have 25 seconds worth of penalties by the end of the race. That's a very good prediction, and we've got Jason himself in the chat going, come on. I wouldn't celebrate too early because T2 the B2 is going a massive 5/10 quicker currently, so you might lose this pole position yet, Jason. Through the penultimate corner, keep it within the white lines, only just gets away without invalidating there. Into the last corner, keep it neat and tidy. You can afford to lose a tenth or two with up like that, and he does go pole 109.775. But Rawley, has gone quicker. You're right. Apologies, he was right behind him on soft, so he judged that to perfection. That's a cool.
Absolutely.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
He gambled and he has won.
He has, absolutely.
In that moment, he takes a decision to change on the softs and have enough time to go out for the warm-up lap, so for the out lap and the hot lap. That was still too wet, so it was a gamble, but he has won it.
Absolutely, you take that gamble, like you say, and he has pulled off nicely. So T2 the B2 did improve. He improved pretty much at the same time. That's why I called it as Rawley's time, unfortunately. So apologies for that. But T2 improved to jump ahead of Jason, but Jim Bob improved as well at the same time and jumped up to second. But Rawley, wow, what a gamble, what a payoff. The only driver to set a lap time on dry weather tyres, and what a lap time it is. He gets pole by 2 seconds, over 2 seconds, which is what you would expect on those tyres. But fair play to him. What a cool.
Absolutely. Aki was out on mediums, and that looks like it was too wet for dry tires. But we see the pole position is still on softs, so it must be dry enough.
Yeah, it's easier to bring up the softs up to temperature though in those conditions because that's a big part of or a big factor in it as well.
Yeah, but it was still 1.9. So normally I would expect 1.4 for for pole position
Oh, absolutely.
on
Yeah.
dries. So it was tricky, but he has won. He starts on pole position.
He certainly does, and it looks like we're going to get a sunny race by the looks of this. That's a promising start. It's not going to be a wet start for them, so everybody's going to have a free choice of tyres, with I believe the exception of Rawley, who did that lap on the softs. I don't know whether you can correct me on that, because although it was a wet session, he did set the tyres on softs, so he will have to start on those, won't he? I believe. Yeah, that's a bit. Because I mean, DRS was enabled, so it was technically dry at the end, and he qualified in the top 10 on a lap time on the set of softs, so he will have to start on those softs. But nonetheless, let's see. He is starting on softs. We have 5 lights, and we are underway. DJ Lawson has a drive-through penalty for a jump start. It is a good start, though, by the Renault of Rawley. Jim Bob has struggled a little bit. Jason is looking pretty well up the inside, but he is side-by-side with the AlphaTauri. There is a Red Bull off in the background, a bumper car.
Yeah,
And we've got a bit of drama further back. Looks like Benjamin and Chuckle Brothers have ended up coming together, possibly. We're not sure, but oh no, Rawley is round. Rawley is round at the second corner. There's also an AlphaTauri out. It is all kicking off here on the first lap of this Austrian Grand Prix. Rawley has dropped down to 12th place now. Didn't catch what happened there. Jim Bob takes the lead. Jason following suit in second place. Wow.
Next little collision there was flying debris.
Yeah, that was...
That is Williams, I think.
Certainly
on
is,
P12. He is missing a side plate.
Certainly is. We have quite a lot of cars going side by side further back. We are running on board with Dazblade as he follows Rawley on his charge back up through. We've got a few jumping about connection issues here. I'm not sure what's going on. Looks like a few problems, but looks like Rawley's got a position done. DJ Lawson is going to serve his drive-through right away. Ryan in the Alfa Romeo has got past Orsat, and it looks like there is ARG, is it, in the Ferrari, has spun at the first corner. So he's gone plummeting down the order. Wow, I didn't keep up with all of that.
Rawley has wing damage. No, sorry, not Wally. His teammate has wing damage.
Certainly has. We're watching both of the Renaults go side by side. Aki is wanting a piece of the action. Aki just came back from off the road. Just Benny has just gone off the road with that wing damage, as you say. But wow, what a start to this Grand Prix.
Absolutely.
Let's just check in with strategy-wise who's on what tyres. While we've got a moment to relax, T2 the B2 and Russ on the mediums. The only ones in the top 10. Oh no, Dazblade is just in the top 10 on mediums as well, so they're looking good as we watch Jim Bob set fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, trying to extend his lead. Rawley is all over the back of Russ in the Mercedes. They are going side by side down the start-finish straight. The Renault has the position though going into the corner, so he is on a charge back through the field, looking to gain that position back. But we have a massive gap between Ryan in the Alfa Romeo and Bumper Car Ben in third. It is 4.7 seconds. That's a massive gap.
Yeah, that's right. What has happened to the B2? Why he's only on P6?
Yeah, that's a very good point indeed. As we watch.
Oh, big log up on Gitarn.
Yeah, we watched the AlphaTauri driver. He is on medium tyres, T2. So whether he had a poor getaway off the line and just dropped back a few positions as a result. It was too much. It was too much to watch in that first lap. That was crazy. As everyone starts to settle down now into this race, Bumper Car Ben now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix behind Jason, so he's going to be piling the pressure on there. We just watched his teammate Benjamin further down the order, having a little excursion on the track, but Wow, how powerful is the alternate strategy around here, Chris? Starting on those mediums, does it give you a big advantage?
If you can handle it, that you are in a 1 second gap to the softs with your mediums, then yes, then go on the mediums, go overloaded with fuel, that you can push the first 5, 6, 7 laps on the mediums, that you can still hold the gap between you and the positions in front of you. And then you have time, because they come in to the mediums, and you are...
Sorry to interrupt you, Chris. We have ARG and Mark Ince both in the gravel trap, round in the middle sector. There's obviously been a coming together there between the two drivers. They both ended up in the same point. We didn't catch what happened. We just caught the end of that, but big drama there further down the back. They're both losing out massively. As we watch Benjamin on the grass as well. I'm not sure what's going on there. He's going very slowly indeed. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris. You carry on.
Everything is fine. RG is spooned again. I saw.
He certainly has, as we're watching Woolley and the Renault trying to make up a few positions once again. He currently sat in 7th place. GT orders all over the back of T2 the B2, so those softs are looking a lot quicker at the moment. And going back to your point, T2 has dropped out of DRS range of Ryan ahead. He's 1.5 seconds back. He is pulling that gap in slowly by the looks of it over this last lap. So hopefully for him he can get back within that 1 second window, and Ryan can tow him along.
Yeah, so what I want to say is, if he can hold that gap now, and can close it when the softs start to gun worst, then he must push, to that moment the guys are pitting for mediums. Then he has 3-4 laps where he can charge battery and saving a little bit fuel for his second stint, and then he could attack, because he has the better tires then to the end.
Absolutely.
That's
can
make the difference.
It certainly can, and when you're sat behind in somebody's DRS, you can save fuel, you can save battery. Just let them tow you along with that DRS. But we've got a brilliant battle emerging for the lower points paying positions. We've got Russ in the Mercedes, we've got Aki in the Racing Point, and Dazblade in the McLaren, all fighting out. They've all been going side by side for this past lap, running in a little bit of a train. Aki on the softer tyres, whereas the other cars around him are on mediums. But when you get in this bit of a DRS train, it is very difficult. And I don't know about you, I never like being in the middle, because you've got to attack and defend at the same time, and it's very difficult indeed. As Aki loses the back end a little bit coming out of turn 1, and that gives Dazblade a good run up to turn 2. The hairpin, but Aki's going to have a look back up the inside as he goes. Oh, he makes contact with the Mercedes. He runs a little bit deep on the brakes, and unfortunately that is self-inflicted. Looks like he's got all of his front wing intact still. We have a yellow flag through sector 2 and 3. Not sure what that's for. Looks like it's Benjamin in the Red Bull who is once again taken to the grass. He's been taken to the grass and slowing down an awful lot. I'm not sure what's going on with him this evening. There
are much penalties for today.
Oh, there's going to be an awful lot of them.
Yeah. But,
as we've watched T2, the B2 get past the Alfa Romeo of Ryan, he has reeled him in, get my words out, and has got past him, and now it looks like Orsat has got the move made into turn 1 as well. As Orsat goes round, Orsat has spun and done a reset to track. A little bit naughty there from Orsat, and I think that's going to be a penalty incoming for the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, that is unsportsmanlike, and yes, okay, it's not really a sports league, but come on, reset on the track. That is a thing that Codemaster must block. So give the chain the opportunity to set it as off.
Yeah,
in the
definitely. It should be
settings.
done as like an assist where you can restrict it. No, I do
Absolutely.
agree there.
If you spawn, it's your fault. Then you must take the time to go back on the track by yourself.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. But as we watch this, we got a battle for the lead emerging. Bumper Car Ben has fallen back. Well, I say he's fallen back, he's just retired. Out of the first corner, Bumper Car Ben is out of this race from the podium position. He's lost it in turn one and in the wall, bit like Nicholas Latifi in free practice last year. And that has brought out the full course caution. The safety car is out, and that's going to spice things up quite a bit. I was just going to say, we got Jason has just got past Jim Bob for the lead as well. So a change for the lead while we watch that. What drama! T2 the B2, who has a 14-second gap to Jim Bob and Jason, is now going to get all of that eroded. So he is going to be the big benefit from here. I mean, what do the guys on softs do? Surely come into pit for the hards. You can't make the mediums last to the end here, can you?
We have now the safety car for three laps. I think. Maybe 4.
I mean, what's the pit window for mediums? About, what, 15 or so?
Yeah, 26 laps you can go.
Yeah.
If you can handle it, you can go on mediums for 26 laps.
We certainly
I
do.
would go.
Well, we got Jason's going on mediums, Jim Bob's going on medium. T2 the B2 has come in. So is he going to go on to hards to the end, or is he going to go softs and go aggressive? He's going softs and he's going to go aggressive.
Yeah. And he must pit again.
He certainly must, but the guys on mediums, it's going to be a bit of a stretch. Their tyre wear's not going to be great, so that, although T2 will have to stop again, he's going to be much quicker at this stage in the race, and he's also going to be able to pit for another set of, well, fresh softs if he saves some.
Yeah, but he must start the firework, and we all know Jason is very good with his tire management, and Jason goes to the end. That is clear, and the rest must look that they can stretch it to 26 laps. It's possible, absolutely. But they must do it. So I think one or two of that guys will come at 25 for the softs again.
Absolutely. So we're just checking in with who stopped, who hasn't. Absolutely everybody has come in the pits for at least one stop now, with the exception of Russ in the Mercedes, currently in an elevated position of third. So he's decided to go for a track position. I must say I'm possibly surprised by T2's decision to come in on those mediums. I don't know, you might disagree with me. If you got the pace, just stay out on those mediums for a bit longer, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it?
I think he is a little bit struggling, and he's thinking that he must go another way, because now they have fresh mediums. He had used mediums,
and
so he will lose time.
And in fairness to him, everyone else has pitted, and the result being is he hasn't actually lost any positions, and he had to stop anyway. So
yeah,
actually, the more when you think about it in that sense, because he hasn't lost any positions, he stayed where he is, just gained some fresh tyres. It would have been a different story had everyone behind him stayed out.
I know what you mean, but you are on the track. You see safety cars coming, you think about what to do. So he's not much quicker with the mediums to the softs. So I think his in his mind was they have new mediums, and he will have mediums with 10. So he's gone in and try this So, but now he must start the firework.
We certainly do. Safety car is in this lap. I must admit, I thought it was going to go out for an extra lap, but ARG has caught up to the back of the pack just now as we ride on board with Jason looking back. When's he going to go? Dazblade gets a 5-second penalty. He's had a collision with Orsat. Jason is weaving, slowing them all down. Little bit of on the throttle, but not that much. Just accelerating a tiny bit, which he's allowed to do. It's as soon as you do accelerate fully and go to do a restart. But Jason is leaving it very, very late indeed. He is on the start-finish straight, and he goes now, and he has caught Jim Bob napping. Dazblade has retired from the session. He's given up the ghost. Looks like he's pulled in the pits and quit, which is a bit of a shame, really. Rawley gets himself a 3-second time penalty as we go over the line.
T2 the B2 is side by side.
He certainly is. T2 the B2 and Russ. Good spot there. Chris side by side, and T2 has got the position on those fresh softs, giving him a massive advantage at the start.
Absolutely. And the gap is not big. It's only 1.4 seconds. 0.6 seconds to Jim Bob.
It certainly is, and then he has a 1.5 second gap to Jason ahead, who Jim Bob must have been asleep on that restart. Jason timed it to perfection.
Absolutely. I use the middle mirror, and if the guy behind me is turning, I accelerate. So if he wants to heating up, then in that moment I go on throttle.
So true there, as we ride with T2 as he hunts down Jim Bob for this extra podium position. He's looking ever
right
closer. He certainly is. No DRS available just now. Looks like they've got similar ERS. Jim Bob has a little bit more, but he goes up the inside.
He got it.
Jim Bob's very compliant there, doesn't fight it too hard. He knows T2 is the quicker driver at this point.
Safety car. There is the next safety car.
What has happened there? Oh, it's just Benny in the first corner. Is out. Good spot there, Chris.
Yeah. What would you do now?
Good question. Good question. You got to stay out, surely. Because everyone's pitted. I mean, the only person that could possibly contemplate pitting is Russ. This really hasn't played to his advantage. Everyone else has pitted literally 2 laps ago. So, what are they going to gain? They're going to drop to the back of the grid.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
And everyone else has similar tyres to them. It's only if anyone possibly like T2 or Chuckle Brothers isn't going to go to the end of the Grand Prix for certain. But even then, you might as well keep going, I think.
Yeah.
As we watch, let's see if anyone does pit. We got Aki coming in the pits. Actually, he's decided to pit for 9th place on the medium, so let's keep on board with him and see what he's going to put on. Is it going to be a fresh set of mediums to go to the end? He's getting a bit of a glitch, I think. They're waiting for a penalty. Mediums. Yeah, new front wing change.
I thought.
Good shout there, absolutely. Get a new fresh wing on it, get on some mediums. Your mediums are going to be slightly fresher than the other guys, so I think he'd be confident in taking those to the Grand Prix and still having quite a bit of life left come the end of that Grand Prix. Benjamin has retired from the session. His car's just driven out of the pits for no reason. I do hate him in that game when this game does that. But Aki looking to go to the end of the Grand Prix might have a bit more of an advantage come the last few laps. Everyone else is going to be sort of looking after their tyres if they're on mediums. You've got Orsat and DJ Lawson and Keza as well, all on hard tyres. So they should be fine till the end of the Grand Prix quite comfortably.
Yeah, but the advantage from Aki is not as big. It's 4 laps, so we have still much to go. So 21 laps.
It's a long race. He's in 13th place, so he's not far off the points. He's only dropped a handful of places really from his 9th position that he was in. It gets him a new front wing, and just like you say, that marginal advantage come the end of the Grand Prix.
And it was the right thing to change the wing, because in safety car you don't lose much time. But sometimes you don't see as visitor that there is damage, but your wing is still gone lightly yellow, and that makes in Baku, for example, a big difference. But you can adjust it with your pit screen, and it would spare time, but it's still safety car. And
certainly is. But yeah, let's just check in with the penalties quickly while we got the notification safety car in this lap. Jason, your race leader, is on 3 seconds, but he had the pace to pull away from Jim Bob. Can he have the pace to pull away from T2? I think that's going to be a different matter altogether. Ruley on 3, Ryan on 3, DJ Lawson the highest on 8, and Aki currently
lights
on 3
are
as well.
Safety car lights are out.
They certainly are, mate, as we ride on board with Jason. Looking back once again, what's he going to do? Is he going to go at the same place he did last time? Is he going to spice it up, go a little bit earlier perhaps? I would say, was he going to go a bit later, but I don't think he can leave it any further later than he did last time. And he's going to go now. He's going in the penultimate corner, and once again he's actually caught T2 the V2 napping quite well as well. He's dropped a second behind him nearly as we go across the line, not far off. Another great restart, but those softs of T2 are going to be coming into fruition. You can see it already through the first corner. T2 has so much more grip and confidence, but there's a big gap once again between Jim Bob and Russ, who was definitely caught napping, emerging there. As we watch the top 3 now starting to run away with it. Jason's plan, I'm sure, will be to hold T2 behind as long as he can, because T2's definitely going to have to stop again. So he's going to want to get ahead of Jason and pull a pit stops gap, which is a tall order.
T2 must overtake Jason and must drive a gap from 25 seconds in the next 10 laps.
Yeah.
If he don't be able to do that, he don't go for the win today.
Absolutely, it's going to be a tall order for him. Let's be honest, as we're watching Ruley and Ryan all over the back of Russ. Ruley once again looking to make up a little bit more ground. Currently in 5th position after his spin on the opening lap. We didn't see what happened, whether it was self-inflicted or whether he was given a nudge round. But either way, the race is long. Let's see what he can manage.
Absolutely, and it looks like there will be in the next 1-2 turns a fight between T2 and Jason.
It certainly does. We're looking at that Renault getting ever closer to the back of the gearbox of the Mercedes. T2 isn't quite close enough. Down here is Ruley. No, he's not. And we got One Wing in the chat saying, "Hey Marcus and everyone. Hey One Wing, how are you this evening?
Hey buddy.
Hope you're enjoying the race. What an enthralling race we do have currently. T2, as you say, very, very close to the back of the gearbox of this pink Mercedes. Jason going to make his car as wide as he possibly can. And he runs very, very wide through that penultimate corner. T2 keeping a lot better line through there. But the traction that Jason is getting coming out. But now is the ball changer. Now is the game changer. DRS is enabled once again. And this is going to make a big difference. Aki gets himself another penalty. He's up to 12th. So he's making a place where he's gone back down to 13th there as I say that. And he's looks like he's spun round the last corner or had a little bit of an off. T2 has a look up the inside of Jason. Jason's a lot earlier on the brakes than Tom, but he's not close enough on this occasion. We watch, Ruley has managed to get the move made on Russ, but there is a 4.3 second gap between him and Jim Bob up ahead, so he's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, and he must drive a gap from 3 seconds if he want to go on podium. So that's not enough to get him. He must overtake him with 3 seconds. So,
I mean, I'm not. Let's just throw something out there. How old would his tyres be by the end of the Grand Prix? Do you think he could really, really stretch those softs? I don't think he could, but with Jason's 3-second time penalty, if he just sits behind in his DRS, which he is not doing, he is going for the move. He's going round on the outside into turn 2, the hairpin, side by side through the corner, and it looks like T2 has better traction coming out on those softs. What a battle, and he's got the lead.
Yeah, and now he is in free air. He must earn the gap. He can drive to the end with the softs. That is not possible.
No, I know. I've seen some people do some ridiculous stints on tyres, but that would be right up there if he did manage. I just wondered because he could sit behind Jason at a much slower pace, save those tyres so much.
Yeah.
Use the DRS, but there we go. It just shows you how hard he's pushing.
No.
He's got himself a time penalty, which is going to make his life even harder. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Whether he'd just try risk it and stay behind Jason and get him on the penalties, but no, he's going for the aggressive strategy.
Absolutely, he must go because the tires don't get better. That means if he is stay behind Jason and would spare his tires, at some point the used softs are slower than the same used mediums, so he can do it. He must go aggressive for next tires.
But he can't drop Jason out of that DRS zone just yet, which is I think going to be a big part of this. He just needs to break that 1 second window, and then he can start pulling away. But while Jason's got the DRS, leaves him having that advantage every lap. As we watch a bit further down the field, looks like Chuckle Brothers and Ryan are going to go side by side into the penultimate corner. Who's going to have the confidence going in? It's going to be the Haas driver. They both lose the back end a little bit round there. Jason gets himself another time penalty, and this is where I think they're going to start creeping in on us.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So easy to get a time penalty round there. Jason looks like he's pushing very hard. He's only 6/10 still away from the back gearbox of T2. I mean, if T2 pits now, where's he going to come out? Surely he's going to come out, well, possibly even out the points, down by the Williams of Keza and ARG, I would have thought. As we watch Chuckle Brothers catching up on the Mercedes of Russ. He's on fresh softs, Chuckle Brothers, so like T2 looking to make a few moves early on. Will have to pit again. Russ on his old mediums will have to pit again as well. Having said that, both don't have very much ERS to play with. Russ running very deep in the penultimate corner. Can Chuckle Brothers make a move coming out of it?
Yeah,
he's close. He's got DRS. He's going to look to make a move at the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, takes a
and
bit of
Ryan is the next who will catch him.
Neither of them have got DRS for that second straight, so they must have come across the line at exactly the same time, you would have thought.
Yeah.
GT Order's retired. GT Order is out.
What has happened?
He's in the pit lane by the looks of it, so it looks like he's that's another person given up on this race. That's a real shame.
There's so much time to go.
There certainly is. Certainly is.
Yeah.
Looks like there's AI cars driving out of the pits again. So that's only going to cause problems. Let's hope it doesn't bring out a safety car or anything.
Yeah.
We're watching now a train forming behind the back of Russell.
Oh, what a move! You saw that?
I didn't quite catch it. I was just out of view of the camera. Do talk us through what happened there.
Holy shit. Sorry for that word, but that was so a fantastic move. I'm a little bit shocked. The last turn, there was still 3 cars, because 1 car was slow, but not ghosted. And, who was it? Checobras must go the outside way, so the long way. And, Wine was cutting inside, but not, the turn, so all legal. But both overtakes the slower car in the middle on the different ways. That was awesome.
Fair play, that sounds like a hell of a move. And while you were describing that, we had Ruley in the Renault spinning for 4th place. He's dropped down to 5th behind Chuckle Brothers. T2, the B2, is now in the pits. Trundles down the pits. He's still in 3rd place at the moment, but you've got a big train of cars coming out around the corner, and I think it's going to be close, but side by side between the Haas and the Alfa Romeo. But it looks like T2, the B2, fair play, he hasn't come out anywhere near as far back as I thought. They've obviously gained quite a lot of time in the last few laps on everyone else. They've been putting in some fantastic lap time, and T2 is back out into 3rd position, 13 seconds behind Jim Bob, and looking pretty good for his first podium in Tier 1. I think that's a bit of a tall order though to rein that gap in, but I'll tell you what, 12 and a half seconds now, and he's got what, 12, 13 laps to do it in. Do you reckon he can get seconds?
What do you say? Sorry.
Do you think he can rein Jim Bob in for 2nd place? He's on fresh softs. It's going to be a tall order.
Hard work, but yes.
Yeah, I think really the deciding factor is going to be the fact that he has 3 seconds worth of time penalties.
With some pressure on Jim Bob, maybe Jim Bob makes mistakes, get 3 seconds too. That could be the one way. Or T2 the P2 is still good enough to go 3 seconds ahead to Jim Bob over the line.
Certainly is. Let's find out.
He has the race pace, so I think it is possible for him.
He certainly is, as we watch Ruley, who just had a spin on that last lap, has pitted for fresh off, so you know he's making his way back up through the field once again. Not been a greatest of races for him, unfortunately. We see Russell getting past Aki. Aki's had a bit of a miserable race, really, on the whole. He's struggled, unfortunately. Mark Ince and Chuckle Brothers also been in the pits, running in last place, but it is 11th and 12th. T2 sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, 105.572, and a hell of a lap time that is indeed in the race. Brilliant pace. He's got the gap down to 9.8 seconds now.
Yeah.
So let's keep an eye on that. Ruley goes quicker, 105.353, so trading fastest lap times now. I know these guys are good friends, so I'm sure they're going to be. There's going to be a lot of competition between this fastest lap point.
Absolutely. But T2 the B2 is, in my opinion, not thinking about the fastest lap. He wants to earn time to Jim Bob.
Yeah, he certainly does. There's more points in gaining 2nd position than there is in a single fastest lap. But if you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, why not? Get fastest lap. It will pull you into the back of Jim Bob even quicker.
Absolutely. For T2 the B2, it was good that Chakra was pitting, because he don't have some pressure from behind, so he can still drive faster.
Certainly does. As
for Chakra, I would say they should go on the fastest lap, the point for it, and go. Yeah, Rusev they must pass, in my opinion.
Good idea, as we watch the Renault Ruley making up yet more positions. He's got past the Ferrari of ARG and up into 6th place. Keza isn't far up the road. He's within a second of the Renault driver. So 5th is definitely on the cards. And you'd have to say DJ Lawson only 5.6 seconds up the road as we watch Rawley going side by side with Keza. He's wasting no time at all. And he sweeps round the outside of the Williams, making use of those fresh tyres. Great move, great racing.
Absolutely, but the price was a warning because he was definitely out of the track. He was all over on the curbs. But I think it is still okay for him.
I think he'll be absolutely fine. He's surely going to pull a gap to Keza on those fresher soft tyres. And DJ Lawson only 4.8 seconds up the road. But if you look at the penalties, DJ Lawson has 17 seconds worth of penalties. So he's going to plummet down the order come the end of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think 4th place is definitely within reach of Rawley. 3rd place is way too far up the road for him, 15 seconds ahead of DJ Lawson even, so that is an ask too much for him, unfortunately. But yeah, there we go. Oh, Jim Bob gets a 3-second time penalty. Jim Bob is in the pits. Jim Bob in the pits, and that is going to give T2 the B2 second place in this Grand Prix. So he doesn't have to make the moves. Jim Bob is confident he's going to come back out in 3rd position. Can he get the extra fast?
You see what I see? T2 the B2 is still on the way to win. He only needs a 3-second gap to win it.
Certainly is. We've got a spinner further back. That is Ryan in the Alfa Romeo coming into the pits. Looked like he had a little bit of drama while he did so, but we've got Chuckle Brothers making a move on Aki going up the inside of turn 1. Nice move indeed. Very fair racing from the two of them. But yeah, you are right, 6.5 seconds away from the lead. T2 the B2 on the charge right now. Can he win this Grand Prix? It is within the grasp. Let's check on the penalties. Jason has 6 seconds worth of penalties. T2 only has 3. So he only needs to get that gap within 3 seconds, providing he doesn't get another penalty. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. You are right there, Chris. But it's easier said than done around here. Not getting a penalty. It's a lot of laps. He is on the push. Yeah. He's on the charge. And that's when you're going to... Yeah.
He's on fire. His time since the gap is flying. So 5.7 now in 5.4, 5.3. So the time is flying, buddy. He's still on fire.
He certainly is. We've got a battle right down the bottom. No points for 11th and 12th place, but Russ and Ryan are fighting hard for that nonetheless. The Alfa Romeo all over the back of the Mercedes. Looks like he's going to go up the inside into the penultimate corner. That's going to be a brave one. Russ gives him room, and he has got that position done. Nice job by the Alfa driver of Ryan, but he's 18 seconds behind ARG, who is pitting actually. He's just come in the pit, so a point is potentially on the card as Jason is feeling the pressure because he's got himself another time penalty. And that is absolutely killed this. That has handed the victory on a plate to T2 the B2. Yeah. He only needs to be within 6 seconds of Jason, and he is well within that 3.5 seconds. The gap is currently.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, Jason spun. Jason has spun it.
Holy.
What has happened there? And that is on the entry to turn 2 or 3. What has gone wrong? He has lost most of his front wing.
His tires are gone. I think.
He's got a puncture.
Yeah.
He has a puncture. You're right. He can't control it in a straight line.
Oh, man.
What absolute drama. Lap 31 of 36.
Nightmare.
Not even close to the end of this Grand Prix. And he has suffered a puncture.
Yeah.
Good call on the puncher there. That is, yeah.
Lost a part of his wing, puncture. Holy.
His teammate's not faring too much better either. In 9th place, has had a spin, put it in the barrier and taken off his front wing as well. So both racing points going to be pitting at the end of this lap. Racing Point are going to have a bit of work to do, the mechanics. Wow, what drama. Where is Jason coming out though?
Wally can go for podium today.
He certainly
if he don't get
absolutely.
More. Yeah, but I say it, he got a 3-second penalty.
I believe, yeah, DJ Lawson has 17 seconds worth of penalties, so,
yeah.
you know, not good at all. One Wing says, wild luck for Jason. Yeah, it's bad luck, but I think if that had happened on the last lap, you kind of forgive it, but lap 31 of 36, you know, you're not even close to the end, so your tyres, surely at that point, they must have been 75% or higher. In which case, on that lap, you're not going to make it to the end, surely.
If he don't touch something or don't go too hard over a curb, it must be nearly 80%. Before 80%, you don't get puncture on full damage cars.
In which case, he would never have got to the end of this Grand Prix on that sort of tyre wear, surely. That's crazy.
And I thought he is the best in tire management, because normally he can go really long time, and he was still 20 laps on it. Russ was 20 laps too and don't get a puncture, so what happened?
Certainly was, and very crucially for the championship, Jim Bob did, just before that happened, he did pit for a fresh set of softs. He decided it wasn't worth it, so he knew he wasn't going to make it to the end. So could the same thing have happened to Jim Bob had he stayed out? Championship leader doesn't mind losing second place, but he's gained it back again with Jason getting the puncher. So yeah, what a race. Jim Bob currently going to be leading the championship by quite a way. I do believe it's bumper car Ben, if I remember rightly, in the second place. And I think Aki's up there as well, so he's going to be gaining quite a few points in the championship as things stand. He's going to be doing a Max Verstappen and leading the way.
Yeah, I agree.
As we watch, Rowley has just got past DJ Lawson. Really doesn't make a difference because of the time penalties, but I'm sure he's pleased to get that move made on track anyway. Mark Ince is catching up with the two of them as well.
Raleigh must watch because he has damage. Mark Ince is not far away, so still 3 laps, I mean.
And when you take into account the penalties, Rowley has 6, Mark has 3, so Rowley really needs to finish 3 seconds ahead of Mark Ince, which currently is not the case. Good spot there on the damage on the Renault, so there he has good pace. His podium could well go to Mark Ince yet.
Yeah. Wally must start a little bit.
Not do that. He must not do that and get himself another time penalty. That is surely the podium gone from him now.
Absolutely. And we will see a McLaren on the podium.
We have Jason gone around once again on his fresh softs, pushing too hard. He is round in the middle sector and round once again, and he's lost his wing.
Yeah. Jason.
Oh, it's all going wrong, and he's just doing a few donuts on the grass. I think he's trying to crash himself out on purpose. Just pull into the pits and retire. Don't bring out a safety car for everyone else. That will absolutely ruin everybody else's race. Just pull into the pits, mate.
I think he is trying, but it's not easy to drive a Formula car in the sand.
Yeah.
Sorry that I laugh, but he is... Holy...
Making a fool of himself, shall we say. There you go, 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limit. The stewards are not happy with your antics, Jason. And I'm sure the DSQ will be coming soon if you carry it on. But he is back on the track, no front wing, and going once again. As Keza gets himself another time penalty. into the pits he goes, and surely probably going to retire. Let's ride back with these guys up ahead. Mark Ince has got past DJ Lawson while we were watching Jason do donuts, and is right on the back of Rowley. So I know he's going to get him on penalties, but once again, I'm sure he is ever keen to get the move made on track. Rowley does have DRS though from ARG, who's being lapped. T2 the B2 gets himself a time penalty, but it doesn't matter. He does cross the line to take the victory in this race. Jim Bob gets another time penalty as well on the final corner. He will take second place. What a race by those two. Rowley led the Grand Prix in the first corner, lost it in the second corner, has been on a fight back ever since, will come across the line to finish third place, but time penalties will demote him. Mark Ince is just behind him. Rowley comes home third. Mark Ince right behind will take the final spot on the podium in the McLaren. Rowley will come fourth. DJ Lawson comes across the line, but he's going to get jumped by quite a bit. Oh, Chuckle Brothers has jumped Rowley as well.
Yeah.
So cracking job by the two brothers there. Whoever's driving, nice going on that one. Yeah, well played. Keza comes across the line. We're waiting for Russ as well. And the last driver to cross the line will be Ryan. Everyone else has been lapped. But what a Grand Prix. What did you make of that one, mate? Who's your driver of the day?
Oh, that is a really good question, because everyone was good. So T to the B2 would earn that, but Chuckle Bros also fight back from the last to fourth in the last stint. That is pretty good work. So I can say something to that. That was too much for one person alone.
There certainly was. There was a lot of good drives up and down the field. I mean, for me, Chuckle Brothers, driven a fantastic race, gained a few positions on penalties at the end. They weren't short of drama during that, but yeah, they got the job done in the end. Very close to a podium when the penalties come into play.
Absolutely, that is what I mean. But there was other racers. They have also done a very nice job. So I think you can give one person that. So, but I would agree with Checker Bros. But for me, that T2 the B2 Checker Bros and Jim Bob. So.
They certainly have, absolutely. Some fantastic drives there from all of them. I'm going to send the podium finishers an invite into the party chat. We'll do a little bit of an interview if they fancy coming along. So who do we have? We have Jim Bob, we have Mark Ince. Who else was on the podium? T2, the B2. Let's give them an invite, see if they want to talk to us. They might not do, but we'll... do that. We will see on that one. But there we have it, your race rundown. T2, the B2. Brand new to the league, to the tier, sorry, and has taken victory on the first go out. Jason was leading the Grand Prix for an awful lot of it, but unfortunately a puncher put him out of contention, and he's finished right down the order. Looks like T2 is joining the party now. Are you there, Tom?
Yeah, hi mate.
You are. Congratulations, mate. What a drive that was. Yeah. Talk us through it.
I don't think I was far from the quickest car on the track, in fairness. I think Jason was quicker, Dale was probably quicker, Jim Bob, especially early on. I think got the wrong call, starting on mediums and then got caught up in a few bits, so I just got a strategy call right at the end, I think, after the safety car going soft to soft, which helped, and then Jason's penalties, obviously I just had to get to within 3 seconds, and then with him pushing a bit more, I think he made the odd mistake. So I think I was a bit fortunate this week, I'm not gonna lie.
It certainly was. You were definitely the man on the move through that Grand Prix. What ran through your mind when you saw Jason off in the gravel? I believe he got a puncture, trying to stretch those mediums too long. Surely you must have jumped up and down for joy.
In all fairness, obviously, I won't wish anything bad on anyone. I'm not that sort of competitor. I want to win, but not like that, so that's just unfortunate for himself. But in all fairness, I think knowing that the mediums would have been going off and the time I was gaining, I think I would have caught up to him anyway, no problem, or at least got in that 3 second window. And then the penalties would have won me the race anyway, so I don't think it changed tons. So unlucky to Jason, though, because he was much faster than me today, I think.
Yeah, it certainly was. I think literally just before he got the puncher, he got another time penalty. So you only had to get within 6 seconds of him, and you were nearly within the 3 at that point with quite a few laps to go. So I think you were on course for the victory nonetheless. Great driving. I believe we have Mark and Jim Bob also joined us in the chat. Are you there, guys? No worries. Congratulations, guys, on the podium. We'll start with you, Jim Bob, in second place. Nice solid drive from you. Kept out of the way, kept out of the drama, but came away with a good finish. How do you feel after that one? Absolutely. I just want to touch on that point when it comes to the championship. Currently the championship leader and finished higher than anyone else in the championship, really. Tom's out of the equation being a new driver in this tier, so extending the gap quite a bit with only one race to go. You're on the brink of winning it. The pressure is most definitely on you, mate. It's yours to lose now. Sorry to do that to you. Yeah, that's it. You just want a nice points finish. Well, you've been super consistent throughout this championship, really. You've had a bit of a drought recently, haven't you? You've been sort of struggling for really good points, I think, the last couple of races. Absolutely. Congratulations to you on that one. And finally, we'll come to your last podium spot finish. And Mark, wow, yeah, snatched that one really at the end on penalties. How do you feel on that? Yeah, I mean, strategy was an interesting one when the safety car came out. I think most people sort of went for the mediums. Depends on what tyres they were on at the time, but thus, committing themselves to another pit stop. There was only a few gone on the hards to the end. I mean, talk us through your decision and what you went for. Absolutely, there was quite a few sort of fastest laps coming in at the end with everyone on softs. It was an interesting call. You had Rowley ahead of you, little bit of wing damage, but a few more penalties in the end. You reckon you could have got him had it been one more lap on the track? Yeah. It was also giving him DRS as well for a little while, which I'm sure wasn't helping you. It certainly is. It's it's always a difficult one as well when it comes to track limits around Austria. So I mean, you all guys did very well on the penalty front. I believe all three of you got, was it just the 3 seconds each, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, same. 6 seconds on the last corner.
Oh yes.
Last lap.
Both did, yeah.
Showing off a bit.
I tell you what, it was I don't know whether you guys follow Tiamat Marduk on YouTube, but he did a league race round here and he got a 3 second time penalty on the last corner of the last lap and lost the race.
Oh, so, that'd be a tough one to swallow, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be tough, but yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, how do you drive fast? The question to all three of you. We'll start off with Tom and then we'll go down the podium, go with Jim next, and then Mark. But how do you keep up the lap time round here? What's the secret to going fast without taking too many track limit warnings?
I think it's nearly impossible. I think if you want to be quick, you've got to push it and just accept that you might. It depends on how well you drive that day, personally, because I think there's always going to be another fast driver on the track willing to take them risks, which pushes you. Then you've got no choice in my eyes. I think you've got to and just try your best, try and keep them off. But I don't exactly think you could drive like to a safer speed and just avoid the penalties, because I don't think you'd be quick enough then on track, to get the positions really.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. I mean, what do you guys think, Jim Bob? What's your verdict on that? Yeah, and lastly to you, Mark. You pretty much agree with the two chaps. It's quite a heart sinking feeling, I suppose, when you do get one. It certainly is. It certainly is. I was hoping for a little bit more advice from Tom, who could advise me how to go quick around here, and so I can beat him later on in the week. But
maybe Jim Bob. Again, Jim Bob and Jason. A little bit of people who ask around it that it didn't suit me this track.
No, I must admit I'm not very quick at this track, so I'm not looking forward to racing you later on this week. Chris as well, who's joined me on the commentary. I'm not looking forward to racing you either, mate.
Hey guys, and congrats from me too.
Cheers.
T2, one question. What is the feeling? First race, first win.
I'm sick of it, to be honest, already. I might pull out for next week. Give everyone a chance. No, I'm only joking. No, it's brilliant. I'm sorry, lads. No, it's great. It's great to win a race, especially, when even more so. I don't know whether, even though I know work quickest on track, it's probably a bit more rewarding in a way, because I've nicked one there, one that I shouldn't. So it feels all that more better in a way.
Yeah. So Marcus asked all what I would ask too, so...
Yeah, no worries at all. Well, well done, everyone. We've got one race of the season left to go, Netherlands. I've got to ask, looking forward to it or not, you guys? No. It's an amazing track to drive, especially over one lap, I think, in qualifying. It's like a roller coaster, but
I'm not a race fan of it, I must say. It's probably one of my least favourite. It's great TT track, very flowing fast, but in a race there's too many narrow sections, and I think it's a little bit tight me for racing on. Absolutely,
no, I agree. It's very similar to the Japan short circuit we went to not long ago, where it's fun to drive over one lap, but tyre temperatures are quite high. Not the best sort of track design for racing, but that did produce some good racing. So we'll see next week. But thank you very much, guys, for joining us for a few interviews. Congratulations once again, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.
Cheers, thank you.
No worries. No worries at all. But thank you everyone as well that has tuned in to watch. Thank you also everyone who has commented and joined in the discussion for this amazing race. We're back again with Tier 2 on Wednesday. Going to be racing. It's going to be me absolutely smashing Tom to bits. So, do tune in for that. I'm going to regret saying that. I know that.
No.
It's going to be a good battle, nonetheless. But do tune in for that. Jason will be streaming it on his Twitch, Mr. GFX Lad. Go check him out. Then we're back with Tier 3 on Thursday, Tier 4 on Saturday, and the Classics on Sunday evening as ever. But until next time, guys, goodbye.